Hi.
How you doing?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
What do you want to talk about?
Today's a better day than yesterday.
Today is a better day than yesterday. Yesterday we had a rough day. Let's talk about dating your spouse.
Okay. Wanna go out?
Sure.
Okay.
We
Let's
can't
check.
tonight. We're babysitting.
Spot on.
So that brings us to, this is one we struggle with. I feel like couples need to spend more time making their relationship a priority. And especially when you have kids, it's really easy to allow that to take over and not actually take the time to make your relationship a priority.
Agreed. You get caught up in doing everything's the kids, and you don't take time for yourself.
That's very true. And the more kids, the more time. So, I don't know. I think we talked a little bit before about Phil and Kay Robertson.
Yep.
And that's one of the things that they say in their book. I believe it was the Happy book, the one that's his. And it really tells a lot about their marriage and their life and how things went. And they definitely had some serious downtimes. But to this day, they say they have a sign on their door that says honeymoon in progress. And that's one of the things that I really love about us is we're almost 7 years in, and a lot of people say that when you get to that mark that you start having like some troubles or some struggles in your relationship, but I really still feel like we're in the beginning of our relationship.
Right.
It's I guess because we're best friends and we talk about everything. We do a lot of things together. But I think that's one of the things that she really points out in the book is that they made their marriage and their relationship a priority even over their kids. And that's not to say that they set aside like taking care of their kids and making sure that their kids were cared for. They just didn't put an extra emphasis on the kids above them.
Right.
And I think that's where I've struggled. Have you in the past?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, would you go to...
I don't think I've struggled as much as you have.
No, and I think I think a lot of that for me, I think it comes from our backgrounds.
Absolutely does.
Because you came from a stable mom and dad figure that showed you what it was to have a nice, loving relationship, and I came from wanting to give my kids all of that because I didn't have it.
Yes.
So I think that really affects what you do, but we try to help our kids with this too, because I know we do take the time to babysit and do stuff, but we do it so that they can have some time together.
So I'll say this, not being on my experience, I'm going off what you tell me. Because, like you said, I come from more of a loving family background.
Mm-hmm.
Great role models. But I think from what I'm hearing, and I've seen a lot of people that get caught up in what you're talking about, where you put your kids ahead of everything. And it's not saying not to take care of your kids and give them what they need, not necessarily what they want, but you had that rough background growing up. You didn't have everything you wanted and needed, so you're going to make sure that your kids
Yeah.
don't live the same life that you did. But at some point, you get too involved in that and you forget about yourself.
Yeah, and at some
And your
point,
happiness.
those kids are going to be grown and gone, and you're not going to have a relationship with that person that you built that life with because you've been doing everything for the kids and nothing for each other. Nothing to fill that other person's love bucket, you know? And so I think it's really important to set that time aside. I used to know this one couple, they had a date day once a week. And honestly, they usually went at lunch because it was less expensive. And he would take an extended lunch on that day of the week, and they would go on a lunch date every week. But I mean, it doesn't have to be food. It can be hiking. It can be activities and things that you guys both enjoy doing together. And let's don't forget the single parents out there either.
Yeah.
Because they'll drown in taking care of their kids before
right.
they will take the time to go out on a date and fill their love bucket. And just because things didn't work out with the other parent doesn't mean that they have to be single forever.
Right.
So, I mean, we got to think about that too, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really important. It's important to take that time with each other to connect and reconnect. Don't just count on that beginning of the relationship to hold you out forever when you're not putting anything back into that. Don't push aside your relationship for the sake of raising your kids. You can do both. You've got to find the balance, and your kids have to know that mom and dad have time together, and we want them to have time together because you're pouring into that example that they see. You're pouring into what they're going to look for in a spouse. And that's a big thing. So you always want to treat your spouse, your significant other, the way that you want that significant other to treat your child later. Because they're going to look for that person. Because that's all they know.
Yeah.
So if you don't make any priority in your relationship, and you're not ever showing any kind of compassion and love and giving time to your significant other, they're going to find somebody that is the same way, that doesn't pour back into them, and that's going to cause like generational issues. So in actuality, you're not only fixing your relationship and making it better, strengthening it, you're also helping your kids to see what they should be looking for. Make your relationship a priority. You can balance it out. You can make it work. Take that man on a date, y'all. Take that man on a date.
I'll take her. I'll have to make her go. She'll have something to do, but I'll take her.
We will. But anyways, that's all we have for this time. So everybody enjoy, show some love. See you next time.